Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the European Union and its member states. Also, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Serbia and Ukraine align themselves with this statement. This third meeting of the United Nations Environment Assembly is a unique exercise due to the change of cycle and the back-to-back meeting of the open-ended Committee of the Permanent Representatives. We want to congratulate the UNEA President and the Executive Director of the UN Environment Programme for their contributions into delivering of this third session of the Assembly. Looking at the results of the OECPR, we are certain it will be a success. We welcome the very constructive and fruitful consultations at OECPR 3 led by UNEA President and the ministerial outcome document that has been endorsed by the OECPR and has been built on in-depth consultations, spirit of compromise and consensus. We will be proud to adopt and communicate to our people a global and a common and proactive consensual message to the world about the need to achieve a pollution-free planet. The European Union and its member states want to conclude this week with a meaningful and long-term vision to address pollution in all its complexity. This outcome document provides valuable guidance for all member states and stakeholders for this. We would also like to emphasize the interlinkages of pollution with biodiversity, climate change and health. Most importantly, it is the health and well-being of both the people and the planet and its ecosystems that we must protect. In the resolution on environment and health presented by the European Union and its member states and co-sponsored by a number of other countries, we address the need to base our common action on the precautionary principle and take a cross-cutting approach. Among other actions, we call on the Executive Director of the UN Environment Programme to continue with his ongoing efforts in collaboration with the World Health Organization, relevant UN entities and stakeholders, including the private sector, to support countries upon request in developing integrated environment and health policies and measures, and to develop methods, tools and guidelines to promote integrated environmental and health risk assessments. Advancing the environmental agenda means addressing the health agenda. We wish to facilitate environment ministers' discussion of this important environment and health nexus. We invite all ministers and heads of delegations to a breakfast on Wednesday, the 6th of December at 8 in the morning to discuss the main cooperative actions and solutions towards preventing pollution and reducing its adverse impacts on health and the environment. We also wish to underline the need to adopt cross-sectoral approaches for solution-oriented action. Sustainable consumption and production, life cycle approaches, circular economy and gender mainstreaming are an opportunity to address environmental issues in coherence with sustainability, climate change and economic development. The European Union and its member states invite you all to a side event on Tuesday, the 5th of December at 1:15 p.m. in room 1 on the topic of the role of circular economy in the transition towards a pollution-free planet. This side event aims at setting the frame for global action on sustainable consumption and production exploring how a circular economy can address resource constraints and generate economic opportunities for a pollution-free world. Dear colleagues, during the third session of OECPR, we have already reached a common understanding on 8 resolutions and decisions. Work has been intense and constructive during the weekend to achieve this consensual understanding on those resolutions that were discussed during OECPR 3. And we appreciate the efforts that all Member States and the Secretariat have put into this process. Furthermore, we welcome all resolutions that have been endorsed by the OECPR. It is clear that behind each of these resolutions is a need for action that the countries, the private sector and other stakeholders, United Nations Environment Programme and other relevant institutions need to address now. This third session of the Assembly will be a success because of its clear purpose and a common goal of addressing pollution. I am sure that when we move further on the global environmental agenda in the coming years and prepare for the fourth session, we will put our full efforts to envisaging the environmental agenda and the vision for the united global action. What we discuss and agree upon during the UN Environment Assembly must benefit to the health and well-being of the people, our living environment and biodiversity. Last but not least, we would like to highlight that we, as environment ministers, have the opportunity and responsibility to communicate the main political message from this global meeting to the high-level political forum and to the wider global public of the importance of pollution to the implementation of the 2030 Agenda and the Paris Agreement. The European Union and its member states have the following message: a commitment to a global joint action to address pollution that will make a real difference. But really acting on it will make the change even faster. Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I wish you a successful week of solution-oriented contributions. Thank you.